So when I was a kid, I was in the Cub Scouts, and one of the things they required us to do was learn how to tie a tie. Not one of the little neckerchiefs that they use, an actual, I'm going someplace formal, I need to wear a tie. And they had some instructions in the book, which was extremely helpful because there was no such thing as the internet back then. I'm that old. And I worked and worked and practiced, and finally I learned how to tie my own tie. It was awesome. And I promptly forgot it in less than 2 weeks. Well, when I was about 12 years old, I finally decided, it's time to learn how to tie your own tie. You're going to need this someday. So I put it on, I was kind of messing around with it, tried some things, tried to remember what my dad had been doing, because up until then, he would always tie my tie, and I would just take it off, hang it on the bedpost, and not untie the knot. It would stay tied all the time. If it came untied, well, you're in trouble. But I finally learned how to do it, just through messing around. I got it, and started tying my own ties, which was great until my aunt said that when she had spent some time in Thailand, one of the things that a tie signified was how many kids you had. The longer the tie, the more kids you had. And she said, based on the way you're tying that tie, it looks like you've got maybe 6 kids, which was ridiculous because I was only about 13 years old by then. Well, that stuck with me. So by the time I was in maybe post-high school, early college days, I started buying these ties that were really, really thick, fat polyester ties from the secondhand store, partly because I was a cheapskate, partly because I kind of wanted to look ridiculous and it was a great way to do it. But started buying these big fat ties and realized, I don't have any kids yet. Let's see how high I can tie this tie. So I went for the single Windsor, past the double Windsor, all the way up to the quadruple Windsor. The knot was almost as big as my fist, and the tie was maybe the length of my hand. But I did it. I had this gigantic, fat tie that told everybody that not only do I want to look ridiculous, I don't have any kids. And maybe the two go hand in hand. If you like this Wolf I've Shucked, please shuck one of your own in the comments, and I would love it if you would subscribe. Thanks.